Joshua Holt with the Holt Real Estate Team, powered by Keller Williams Realty. As a veteran myself, we take a lot of great pride in helping military veterans with their home purchase needs. And so today I brought in Joe Lawn from Guild Mortgage, and he is a great local lender, and he does a lot of business with veterans as well. So I thought we could take a few minutes today to talk about some of the nuances and things to be aware of with the VA loan. So welcome, Joe.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you so much for having me. What are you curious about learning about?
We get a lot of people reaching out to us, just naturally because of our veteran connection. They want to buy a home loan, but they really don't understand where to begin with the VA loan. What do they need to do kind of up front? And then what are just some of the, maybe the unique things about a VA loan and just things that they maybe need to be aware of as we go through this process?
Okay, so VA loans are, first of all, it's an awesome product. It's a zero down product. It's pretty forgiving on credit score and debt ratio. It's and it has no PMI. So it's a great way to honor those who have served by giving them an opportunity. And in a lot of ways, it's like a normal 30-year fixed loan. But then there are a couple of nuances. Okay. The number one thing I would recommend is that the vet meets with their lender in advance of writing an offer and gets their certificate of eligibility ordered right away. Okay. So for us, it's a very easy process to do this. And sometimes we get an immediate certificate of eligibility and it goes through an automated system. And sometimes it kicks back a response depending on the length of time the veteran may have been separated from service or the branch of service that the veteran was in, or if there was a unique discharge circumstance or something like that, and requires additional time or information to process their certificate of eligibility. And so doing that and making sure to do it up front can make sure that we're not still waiting on that certificate of eligibility while the buyer's under contract. Sure. And what we can, and then we can make sure that it runs smooth and there are no bumps in the road. And I would say that's kind of one thing that separates it. Okay. The other thing is on VA loans, if the property is in a rural area, a well and a septic inspection is required. So making sure that you're working with an agent that knows VA loans. Mm-hmm. And we'll make sure that that's written in on every single contract, because otherwise there's an awkward renegotiation that has to happen afterwards if it wasn't put in, because it is a requirement of the loan. Sure. And then recently, termite inspections, right? Yeah. So there used to be a waiver in the state of Wisconsin where the VA did not require termite inspections in the state of Wisconsin. That waiver has since lapsed. And now if you are buying a single family home, in most of the state of Wisconsin, a termite inspection is required. So that does have to be ordered on every transaction. And that contingency needs to be written in. That word hasn't trickled out to a lot of agents and even to some lenders that don't do a lot of VA loans. And so if you're not thinking about that up front, your agent doesn't know that needs to be written in, again, that can cause you troubles down the road.
Yep. And so that's one of the things for us. We include or recover that cost of that termite inspection for the veterans that we work with, so that's one less thing you have to worry about, but we make sure that that's always included in the offer. Speaking of other inspections, I know oftentimes we hear there's some confusion between the home inspection, which is pretty typical on most purchases, no matter what type of financing you're doing, and the VA appraisal. So Joe, can you kind of expand a little bit on maybe what are some of the differences in a VA appraisal?
Yeah, I hear kind of the same thing, actually. A lot of vets think that the VA does a separate inspection on the property as well, and that's not true. What happens is there is an appraisal during the process. They take a little bit longer because we ordered these through a VA portal, and then the VA assigns the appraiser. The appraiser is going to go out and they're going to do a normal appraisal, and then they're going to do kind of a little bit more of an advanced check on health, safety, structure, and livability. So if that was your little decoder ring, right? Mm-hmm. Health, safety, structure, and livability. They're going to flag things like maybe chipping and peeling paint, rotting or warped deck boards, heaving concrete, things that cause safety hazards, and then we can kind of have to deal with those things during the transaction. But that is not an inspection. An inspector is a private individual that's hired throughout the process, and Josh will recommend somebody to you to use. They'll have some preferred vendors for you that will do a good job for you, and that person goes out and does the entire inspection on the property. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think it's a very good explanation.
Yeah. And then just one other thing I'd add. Condos are their own beast when it comes to VA loans. So The VA has an approved condo list, and if the condo is on the VA approved list, you're kind of good to go. If it's not, there's a process we have to go through, and we've been very successful with getting condos added to the VA list. It's a process that we're used to doing, and we can do it, but it does take a little bit of time. So if you're interested in purchasing a condo with your VA loan, let's bake in a little more time to that transaction to go through that VA approval process and get that condo put on the VA list so that we can do loans in that condo now and also in the future.
That's great.
So,
and that's like you were telling me the other day that a lot of people think VA loans just for either single family homes or single occupant condos, but there is the case you could potentially purchase a multifamily home with a VA loan, correct?
that's correct. The VA loan does have to be owner occupied.
Sure.
But as long as you're owner occupying, you can buy a 1 through 4 unit property, and a down payment is not required.
Wow, that's going to be a great buying power.
Yeah. So it's a good opportunity, especially for a vet that doesn't maybe have a huge family and doesn't need a huge place and is looking for a place to buy a multifamily now to offset their costs. That becomes an investment property in the future. It's really a pretty good opportunity for a vet. So.
Okay. And I think the last thing I know you were sharing with me too was about, with the VA loan, you can only have one VA loan at a time, correct?
You can actually have more than one.
Really? Did that change?
Yeah. Okay. So you can actually have more than one VA loan. There's something called entitlement, right? And every vet has a certain amount of entitlement. And a certain amount of entitlement gets used on each VA loan. So if the first VA loan was under a certain amount, then the second VA loan can be over a certain amount. Now there's nuance to that, so I'm not promising you that you can have 2 VA loans, but you might be able to have 2 VA loans under certain circumstances. So if you're relocating or you're moving up and you need to buy a new place before you sell your old place, sometimes that is an option.
Awesome. Well, Joe, that has been some great information on the VA loan process. Hopefully we've been able to clear up some misconceptions that people have on the VA loan process. Like I said, we deal with a lot of veterans that are out there that have never gone through the home purchase process, and you add in the VA process, it can be daunting at times. So having great loan partners like Joe here to be able to help clear the air on some things has been beneficial. So if you have any questions on real estate or the VA loan process, you can always give us a call. You can reach our team at 608-345-6594, or you can email me directly at jdholt@kw.com. Or if they want to reach you or your team, Joe?
608-729-5379 or joelongteam@guildmortgage.net.
Awesome. Well, Joe, I appreciate the time today, and I thank everyone for taking the time to watch our video. I hope everybody is doing well, and take care.
See you soon.